The 49ers defeated the Chicago Bears 33-22 to break their four-game losing streak and to make sure they stay in the hunt for the wild card spot, right? This win was very much needed from this team. Sure, there are things fans can complain about, right? There are those problems, right, that need to be fixed, right? I understand that perspective from a fan, right? To still believe there should be things that need to be fixed. But you shouldn't just be bashing this win due to certain things, right? It's the Chicago Bears. It's a rookie quarterback. Khalil Mack was injured, all that stuff. Here's the thing about it. You just want to see improvement from this team, right? You don't want to see this losing streak keep going, right? And here's the thing about it. Things can't get fixed if you don't win and show what full 60-minute team football looks like. And that's what the 49ers did. When this offense struggled, the defense helped out. When the defense struggled, the offense helped out. But more in that category for this game. I'll get into that. But anyway, I think I rambled on for too long. Let's talk about this game, shall we? First, since day one, let's talk about this offense, right? Because that's what I came from this game, right? The offense, right? Let's talk about Jimmy. Shall we? He completed 17 of a possible 28 passes while throwing for 322 yards. No TD passes, but he did have two rushing TDs. So who needs Trey Lance, all right? During the first half, where it seemed the offense was struggling, I never thought that was Jimmy's fault. A few key passes he threw were dropped, right? That's basically why the offense looked the way it did in the first, I think, a little bit in a way. Besides, we're trying to get the running game going. But anyway. But as you know, the game progressed, the wide receiver drops, kept going down, right? I don't know if this performance was cause of him being in Chicago where he lives or because of having 100 of his friends and family in attendance. But an overall great performance from Jimmy. The question now is, can he be consistent going forward? Next, Elijah Mitchell played another good game. Guy had himself 137 rushing yards on 18 attempts, while also scoring one touchdown and averaging 7.6 yards a carry. I know most are wondering where Trey Sermon is, but as long as Mitchell is fitting this current scheme, right, he's going to get the snaps, right, over Sermon. Let's talk wide receivers a bit. Debo's is still pretty good, right? He broke Jerry Rice's record for most yards in 7 games, I think, right? And a chunk of it was like 7 or 8. Wait, no, they played 7 games, right? Because of the bye, right? And a chunk of those came from an 80-plus yard screen pass that almost scored TD. So good on Debo for making sure he gets all that money, because if you didn't know, he is in a contract year. Also, Brandon Ayuk is getting more targets. That's one good thing, right? Right? That's always a good sign. He is fixing what is needed to get those targets. He was the wide receiver who caught the 2-point conversion. So hopefully soon those types of passes will become touchdown passes. Plus, Sanu was, there. Good fat wide receiver, right? For all wide receivers that has some drops, so Wes Welker better put them on the drugs machine this week instead of throwing it himself, all right? O-line had themselves a good day, right? Very clean game. So props to them, especially Trent Williams. He's dealing with an injury right now and didn't practice the week before. And he played fantastic. I think he's like, his PFF grade's like the best ever in his career. Yeah. Also, this was the first game in which Kyle called a complete in sync game. I truly believe that, right? But here is where it was interesting, right? So Shanahan's system is basically run opens up the passing game, right? Run game opens up passing game. This game was more passing game, open up running game. Will we see more of this in the future? Hopefully. If it works, it works, Don't just switch it to switch. As I said last time, don't just switch because you think people are going to make adjustments. Run it into the ground, all right? And that leads me to the final point. I believe the two most important people, right, for this offense to work, Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy Garoppolo, should try and keep this mentality that they had this game, this loose mentality. I call it a loose mentality, right? Where they have trust, where Kyle has trust for him to run the. If Kyle has trust in Jimmy to run the option for this game, but not in other games, he needs to keep, that same mentality, right? That Jimmy can run a red zone option, right? If available, right? And he also needs to needs to put trust in and say, hey Jimmy, try the deep throws again. We saw that on the first drive and we saw that again before halftime. So keep doing that because when Jimmy is able to play and be a gunslinger, use his weapons, get us out of the pocket, right? He's an entirely different quarterback, and this offense looks entirely better, right? So hopefully they can build off of this, because you're one game out of a wild card spot. You need to keep this up, right? I know. Here's the thing. I saw someone that said they rather lose with Trey Lance than win with Jimmy Garoppolo, right? For this year, you need to just get wins, all right? Kyle needs wins. He needs a winning season. I don't believe you understand what you're talking about when you say you want to lose Trey Lance, right? Just for his development, when your coach of your football team that you cover, you're a fan of, needs a winning season. So keep the wins going, all right? If you want to start Trey Lance due to wins, I understand that, right? He can win. I believe Trey Lance can win games, right? But right now, Kyle has trust in Jimmy to win games. So put trust in Kyle that he's making the right decision, right? But that will be it for the offense, all right? Let's talk defense. I think this was first half they were bleeding, all right? Justin Fields and I forget the running back's name right now. Let me look it up real quick for the Bears. Khalil Herbert, right? Had himself a good game, right? Was bleeding this defense, right? First D line. That was the thing everyone thought was stacked, right? Like there were starters that were deaf, right? But Justin Fields is the most sacked quarterback in the NFL currently, right? And they barely got to him, right? Plus, the way that they handled the running game the Bears had wasn't the best. I know they are missing Kinlaw, right? He had season-ending surgery, right, to hopefully fix his knee. Hope he has the best recovery ever. Comes back and dominates, right? That middle of the line, right? And also I think they're missing Hurst, but like here's the thing. Why was it that I only thought Bosa was playing? He was the only one that showed up. Armstead. Here's the thing about it. He generates pressure. I know that, right? But he got that contract. He should be trying to get sacks, right? And that's what's on D'Amico, right? He needs to call the blitzes, right? Now let's talk linebackers, right? It seems that Fred Warner's having himself a quiet year after his All-Pro type year he had. But it's still playing like Fred Warner, so that's good. They were missing Azeez Shaius like this game. As I said before, running game for the Bears was good. Because basically it took till I think Herbert got the win out of him for landing on a ball weird for them to help the running help defend the running game, right? The corners, after their performance against the Colts, they played a very interesting game. It seemed like everything was in front of them, right? Let the Bears have the short passing yards so the PIs won't happen, which is somewhat understandable, right? But I hope they can find a way in practice to play their way, their style of football, because they play better that way, right? Norman got himself an interception, so good on him. This team needs interceptions. if you can't win the turnover game, you shouldn't win football games, right? Also, Talanoa Hufanga made his start at safety because of an injury. I think he had himself a good game. Almost had himself a pick. So good on him. He's always an interesting guy to hear during interviews. Final note on this defense. Everyone knew growing pains, but it's still hard to when I know the type of players that are on this defense, right? But I believe they can fix it. They did in the second half, right? They played a better second half than the first half. So I just hope they can keep making these adjustments, right? So that is my thoughts on this game. A very enjoyable game to watch. It had everything you wanted from a football game, in my opinion. Both teams looked good. Justin Fields is a stud for the Bears. Hopefully Trey Lance can beat that for the 49ers. But that will be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. If you did, give the video a like. And also subscribe so you never miss a recap or whatever else I make, right? Also, if you want, follow me on the Twitter. Follow me on that Twitter. But so for updates on thumbnails, I usually post my thumbnails for my upcoming videos, and just my takes on a lot of different things. And hopefully, but that will be it for guys. See you next week for I think the Cardinals. I think maybe wrong there, but whoever it is, I will be here on Tuesday or Wednesday with a recap for you guys. So see you guys next time.